What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Real Deal Steele, coming to you live this Sunday matinee, special matinee edition of Steele Live. Great to see you guys. Before we get started, if I could just ask you to hit that like button. It's the number one thing you can do to help the channel out. It takes a split second of your time, doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help us reach out to more people, work through those tricky YouTube algorithms. And for those of you who are on Twitter, if I could just ask you to retweet the stream, if you would be so kind to do so. I'm going to put the link to the stream in the chat for you to do that. If you wouldn't mind doing that, if you are on Twitter, hugely appreciated. That does help. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele Live. I'm Steele. It is so great to have you with us. And it is now the first, well, technically the second show, because the other one was a New Year's Eve. But this is the full-fledged first show of 2022, and I am excited, folks. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about where the channel's going, where this community is going, and we've got big things ahead for sure. And if you feel inclined to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's hugely appreciated for all my time and efforts, and it makes it possible for me to stream put on shows nearly every day as I do. Zombie says, already done, Steven. Appreciate that. Who do we got in the chat? Who is alive? We got the Hump Deezy. We've got Rachel Slur. Welcome. We've got Mike Tracy, we've got Diamond Hands Freddy, we've got Mr. Lynn. Good to see you, Mr. Lynn. Who else have we got in here? I think I gave Keith a shout out already. We got the Zombie Doge Army. We got me, you, Mr. Particle, Tony C, Andy Shirley, and the list goes on. Jay coming in. All right, I think I covered about everyone in that's active in the chat right now, with the exception of the lurkers, of course. Anyway, yeah, got some interesting things to go over with you guys today, and we're going to get down to it all, boppers. We're going to get down to it all. So just settle in for a bit, and we're going to have a good time. And I'm going to take a sip of this ginger. Look at that, white peach ginger seltzer. Refreshing. No, I'm not sponsored. Mr. Nick Balls, yo, you guys get hit with a ton of snow up there, too. Nick, I wouldn't say a ton. I mean, I guess it considers what you consider a ton. I think I've got about, in my fair city, there's probably about maybe 4 inches of snow. Maybe 4 inches of snow about where I am. I mean, it's blanketed, but I wouldn't say it's a mass amount. So, Nita says, I'm at work lurking. You know, you'd be surprised how many people tune into the show on the sly, right? While they're on the clock, while we're on the clock. Nick, we miss you, Mr. Nick Balls. Anytime you want to pop back on the show, by all means, sir. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been enjoying your break. Zaxi, what is going on? Good to see you. Joel, good to see you in the mix. Haven't seen you in a bit. No snow in Texas. It's cold though. I got relatives in Texas. I got relatives over by Lake Travis. And for those of you who don't know, this is Remy, and she just really wants to do some screen time. She wants to do some screen time here, so she takes a heck of a time to want to be seen. So Remy, let me pull up my notes, guys. And let's get to the first topic at hand. Right now, Bitcoin is trading right around 47,000. You know, rather unremarkably, but then again, you know, this is still technically a bull market. You know, I will give a lot of these Bitcoin maxi guys credit. You know, they have been posting up a lot of Bitcoin numbers over the past year on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin was 12 months ago. And these are still extraordinary gains, especially considering Bitcoin is the top market value cryptocurrency out there. Remy, stop. So, all things considered, that's pretty good. You know, this is really ridiculous. You guys, sometimes she gets really jealous when I start streaming, and then feels like she has to compete for my attention. So I think that's what's going on here. So it is important, right? It's important to see, to know where you're going. You got to look at where you've been, right? You got to look at where you've been. And certainly we've had such a journey over 2021, whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's Dogecoin over the last 12 months. And you look at most of the top 20 cryptos that are as it is by market cap. The amount of the gains that have been achieved over the last 12 months have been absolutely extraordinary. And we talked a lot about that, right? We talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about that on the last few shows, right? On the last few shows. And guys, this is going to... Remy, just calm down. Just calm down, sweetheart. Remy, not now. Okay? I just took her out, guys. I just took her out. I know that's not it. She's just wanting attention. Okay, so let's get to the first story here. We've got, courtesy of CoinDesk, volatility ruled crypto markets in 2021 from 69K in Bitcoin to Elon Musk's Dogecoin to the moon. NFTs exploded. Coinbase stock went public. El Salvador bought the dip. China cracked down on Bitcoin miners, while Solana's tokens and Matic shot up by multiples of 90 or more. And here's how the crypto traders played it. Here's how they played it, guys. Here's how they played it. She wants to be your co-host. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Maybe I just need to get Remy. I need to get Remy a microphone. I need to get Remy a microphone. Nick says the bulk starts tomorrow. We'll be in the gym twice a day and sleeping a ton for the next 3 months. I understand. No worries, man. Yeah, I'll have to get Remy a microphone. And she can chime in her analysis, guys. She can chime in her analysis. Anyway, this is kind of CoinDesk's year in review that I've started getting into here. Let's riff off this a little bit, and then before we go to the next topic. So, Remy, come here. This dog is... She is really acting up right now. Remy, put that down. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get up and take that away from her because that's making all sorts of noise. Just a second, you guys. Remy, stop being naughty. Stop being so naughty. Just calm your teats, Remy. Oh my gosh, you guys. This Doge today, I don't know what's gotten into her. Anyway, so let's get back to the year in review here, guys. Musk pumps both Dogecoin and Bitcoin throughout 2021. As Bitcoin soared in February, social media, particularly Twitter, appeared to take on an expanded role in cryptocurrency markets, with prices jumping in response to tweet after tweet. It became clear that investor appetite for risk remained strong despite earlier concerns about rampant speculation. A series of posts by Elon Musk, then Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, helped push Bitcoin higher, out of 40,000 to nearly 57,000 throughout February. The viral effects of social media pushed retail traders into full-on buy mode, with bones thrown to the doggy-themed meme token. Still, CoinDesk refers to Dogecoin as a token. That added billions of dollars to that cryptocurrency's market value. On social media, some traders band together in an effort to keep crypto prices elevated, similar to the way retail traders in traditional markets had coordinated to royal stocks like GameStop. And I think this is a very accurate assessment of the rise of Dogecoin in 2021. In fact, there are many people that became Dogecoin enthusiasts and investors in the community as a direct consequence of the stonks movement, as a direct consequence of the GameStop movement, as a direct consequence of the AMC movement, as a direct consequence of all that. And, I remember Doge was already on my radar, but the GameStop thing, I was really keeping up on that as well. I was too late to really get in on the most advantageous positions on GameStop, but I got a little bit of AMC. I was kind of keeping an eye on it. And then I started noticing a lot of these crossover audiences between the Stonks Rebellion and the Dogecoin. And Dogecoin kind of became a rebellion in and of it to itself within cryptocurrency. So I think that's very accurate. I think that analogy is very accurate of what we saw throughout 2021. What GameStop has been to stocks, Dogecoin kind of took that mantle as being that to cryptocurrency. And so yeah, I thought that was really interesting, really inspiring thing to see. Unlike anything we've ever seen in the crypto markets before. Keith says, "Love your Doge." Oh yeah, she's great. She's just a bit naughty. She's just a bit naughty today. Doge Scotland, didn't see you sneak in there. Good to see you, Doge Scotland. Who else we got? The Sliding Edge found its way in here. Good to see you. Slay Blaze. All right. Anita Highwick, Gremlin. All right. And Zaxi. I don't know if I gave you a shout out before. Zaxi. Good to see you in the mix. In the mix. There used to be this old video game from the 80s called Zaxxon. Zaxxon. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Wow. It's really going to be one of these days, isn't it? Remy? No barking. No barking. You know, that's what I get when I open a nice window for her to get fresh air, and then she gets so preoccupied with everything that's coming past the window. Every person walking past, let alone pets. I mean, thank God there's not a Doge walking past, or she'd be going absolutely bonkers. But anyway. Moving on. Bitcoin endorsements by Musk and Dorsey went absolutely viral, inspiring a league of traders who dismissed the cautionary warnings of more experienced investors. It all seemed like a lot of fun. Laser eyes became a thing. That laser eyes was the look in 2021, wasn't it? And Bitcoin was not the only cryptocurrency to advance. Musk also suggested in a tweet that Dogecoin might be the future currency of Earth. Musk's involvement in the dog tribe helped send Doge mooning, in his words, along with other alternatives. Such hijinks kept the crypto party going. Here's a look at the relative performance in January. Doge vastly outperformed Bitcoin in January, as shown before. And here we are, guys. Doge up 600%, just over January. And boy, was that an epic rise. And you got to give it up for CoinDesk. CoinDesk usually skews in a nature that kind of marginalizes, kind of belittles Dogecoin. But I'm really not getting that vibe from this 1 year roundup, this 1 year reflection from CoinDesk as it relates to Dogecoin. They're really giving credit where it's due. And I think that's good. Because Dogecoin really did inject new life into cryptocurrency. Dogecoin brought more new investors into the cryptocurrency scene, into the markets than we've ever seen before. We've never seen anything like it. It's absolutely unprecedented. So that's another thing where I never really got why so many people also outside of these communities, belittle and talk smack about Doge, because it's just like, you do realize that Doge is bringing in more new investors than any other coin has in previous years. Dogecoin brought in more new cryptocurrency investors in 2021 than I think cryptocurrency had ever seen to date. And so what happened? Most Dogecoin investors didn't just start and stop with Doge. They ended up checking other projects out, investing in things like ADA, Ethereum, Matic, AVAX, VeChain, and the list goes on. And so it's funny to see the tribalism just gets pretty silly, doesn't it? It gets silly, and it's totally unnecessary. Taryn asks, how did Elon predict the Bitcoin top 69,000 in that meme? I mean, that's a good question. I don't really know how to answer that, Taryn, but I mean, boy, did he turned out to be pretty prophetic, right? Pretty prophetic. Sometimes, you can meme things into reality, and we've seen examples of that going back particularly going back to about 2015 up until present, we've seen particular factions of people and communities coming together and actually memeing things into reality, memeing ideas, or memeing even in 2016. You could arguably say that election was memed into reality, right? And so we see a lot of those same parallels, as I see it anyway, with something like Dogecoin, which I think is a pretty apt analogy for that. Elijah, good to see you, says Ohio steel workers for Doge. I love it. Working hard on the steel mill. So, I mean, what a year. And then we saw from Tesla to Coinbase, we saw Bitcoin up and then down and breaking 50K for the first time in history. The Coinbase stock went public in 2021. And then the Bitcoin's crash, also kind of a crash happened in 2021. I believe that was around, mid-April. And then Musk raised environmental concerns about Bitcoin and consequently severed his relationship with Bitcoin with Tesla. And then right towards the end of the year here, we finally saw Elon announce on Twitter that starting in the near future now, Tesla will be accepting Dogecoin for select Tesla merch. And I think that's going to be the trial run before it ramps up and announces the big one where Tesla will accept Dogecoin across the board. Period. And given the most interesting development off of this topic, as it relates to this topic anyway, is when Elon started expressing very explicitly through Time Magazine and other big mainstream outlets, and even the Babylon Bee, right? What a way to cap off the year. Here Elon comes out in no uncertain terms, completely unequivocally, and says, Dogecoin is the stronger cryptocurrency for transactional use, hands down, the stronger one. And that kind of really changed the narrative in the mainstream media's perception about Dogecoin. And as I've been discussing with you here, and as I recite, certain passages and paragraphs from the mainstream media's coverage of Dogecoin, since Elon has expressed those sentiments, the narrative is different in the way the mainstream media now addresses Dogecoin. It took a while to get there, right? It seems like it anyway. It took a whole year of us, saying, hey, Dogecoin's more than a meme. It's more than a joke. It's actually got super strong, sleek, simple utility. It's super effective. It's cheaper in transaction fees than both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And it's faster as well. The transaction times, it's faster as well, more efficient as well. And it took all the way until the very end of 2021 to really, truly turn the paradigm on the mainstream media's narrative on the way it discussed and referenced Dogecoin. And now, if you notice, if you were to, DuckDuckGo or Google Dogecoin now in news stories, if you look at all the news stories over the last couple of weeks, you'd be pretty hard pressed to find any that simply refer to Dogecoin as a meme coin or as a meme token or whatever they want to call it, or joke token. It's all discussing the merits of Dogecoin, the merits of Dogecoin's utility. So I think that was a really important step in laying the groundwork for Dogecoin to go on to do bigger and better things, to ascend to the heights of being one of the most transacted digital currencies on the planet. Now, we got Sliding Edge coming in with the first super chat of the day. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Sliding Edge, $5, make you holler. 2022 prediction, Steven buys a home. Whiskey Kit calls it through the Steele Reserve will accept Dogecoin. I love it. I love that prediction, and I will take it. Welcome Ape Nation to the chat. I just converted 5,088 into the DOGE. We love it. I love it. Welcome to the show, Ape Nation. So let's go to the next story here, guys. Now, Reuters reporting year-ender, the year of Doge, 2022, crypto's wildest year yet, and boy, was it the wildest ride. No doubt about it. Bitcoin closed to 70,000. Meme coins worth billions of dollars. A blockbuster Wall Street listing and a sweeping Chinese crackdown. 2021 was the wildest year yet for cryptocurrencies, even by the sector's volatile standards. And then it kind of rehashes a lot of the same stuff that we just talked about. Now that I go through it, I thought the first story was sufficient enough. I don't think we got to go through all of that again. We don't think we have to go through all that again. Now, let's check this out. Predictions for crypto in 2022. Actually, I'm going to go through two predictions lists. There's one through CoinDesk, and the other one is through CoinRivet. So let's go through the CoinRivet one first. That one's more simple. It's got the cryptocurrency price predictions for 2022. I'm going to tell you what their predictions are. Then I'm going to give you my feedback on how accurate I think those are as it relates to them. Ape Nation, hey bro, wish you all the best in 2022. Right back at you. Appreciate that. By the way, if you're new here and you're not already subscribed, I'd like to personally welcome you. We've got an awesome community here, and I want you to be a part of it. So hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell. And if you're already a subscriber, I want you to hit all on that notification bell. It's absolutely super important that you do that if you haven't done so already. Now, on to the predictions for the top cryptos currently on the charts for end of year predictions of 2022. We've got Bitcoin, of course. And according to CoinRivet, they're putting their end of year Bitcoin predictions at about 70,000 by the end of 2022. 70,000 by the end of 2022. I think this is a bit modest, and as I've reviewed all of CoinRivet's predictions, they skew very conservatively. In fact, my end of year predictions always skew more conservatively, but I think CoinRivet even outdoes it for me. Do I think 70,000 is a bit too bearish for end of year prediction for Bitcoin in 2022? I definitely see the factors that they're looking at where they would draw such a conclusion, but I do think that they are. I think they're underselling it a bit. I would put my end of year prediction for Bitcoin somewhere around 85,000, perhaps even 90,000 by the end of 2022. Will it get to 100,000? It very well could, folks. Very well could. But given what we saw in the last quarter of 2021. I'm kind of pulling back more, making some readjustments, right? So my end of year prediction for 2022's Bitcoin is around 90,000. Now, on to their end of year prediction for Ethereum, folks. They are putting it at $6,000 by the end of 2022. I think this is more accurate than their Bitcoin prediction. I would put my end of year prediction for Ethereum around 7,500. So again, a bit more bullish than what they're predicting, but I think 6,000 for an end of year prediction for Ethereum is very, very reasonable, very realistic. But I do think they're underselling it a bit. I think, and I feel pretty strong that Bitcoin will at least get to 7,500 by the end of 2022. Now, folks, could Ethereum get above 7,500 by the end of 2022? Absolutely. In fact, I would say the more I think about it, it's probably more likely we're looking at about 8,000, 8,500. But it could blow past that. Now, the BNB end of year BNB prediction is saying that it will cross the $1,000 mark by the end of 2022. Now, I think that they're probably overselling this one a bit. I'm going to put my end of year for BNB right around 900, just a little bit lower than they're putting it. Now, for Solana, their end of year 2022 prediction is between 3 and 400. I think that's dead on, actually. I would concur with their estimation on that. Now, Dogecoin. They are looking at the end of year 2022. Their Dogecoin prediction is a meager 30 cents, which is the biggest shocker. But then again, not really. You got to understand, these are people that aren't in tune with the dynamics nearly as much as we are here. Not nearly as much as we are here. They're not in tune with the dynamics at all. And I think, yes, I can hear my upstairs neighbors shagging right now. Oh my goodness. What a day, folks. What a day. I think that's, I don't think that's reasonable. I totally disagree with their end of year prediction for Dogecoin at 30 cents. I am going to, if I had to push it, I'm going to say end of year prediction for Dogecoin in 2022 is going to be somewhere around $1.20. Somewhere around $1.20. So my end of year prediction from them is vastly different. But then again, they're just looking at solely kind of very conservative charting estimates, but they're not looking at all the societal and the events surrounding Dogecoin that are taking place. I think the people that made this list are completely clueless to what those dynamics are. And there are all these things, all these events we have talked about often on this show. And Remy, she's just really something today, guys. She's just really something today. Next, Terra Luna. Terra Luna. I've been very bullish on Terra Luna all year. It said it might cross the 105 mark by 2022 with a maximum price value of more than 120 US. Again, I think this is too bearish. I put it somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 end of year easy on Terra Luna. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't reach that by end of year. Cardano ADA, it says many market analysts believe its price will cross $2 during the first quarter of 2022 and climb up to $3. We think this is accurate. I don't think it's going to reach $3. Personally, I don't think ADA is going to reach $3 in 2022, but I could easily see it crossing the $2 barrier somewhere around $2.50. Polkadot. Now, Polkadot, $60 by end of year. I think that's fairly accurate from what I've seen. Remy is hogging the screen, guys. She's hogging the camera. You're just a camera hog. Sweetheart, you just got to back off a little bit, okay? You just got to back off a little bit. Next one is Avalanche. So their end of the year prediction for Avalanche is 130. Again, I think this is way too bearish. I'm seeing Avalanche at least a minimum reach the heights of 160 end of year. It wouldn't surprise me if it blew way past that. So overall, the end of year predictions for this by these group of analysts, I think, are a bit low across the board with a few exceptions. Remy, you got to make room for my face, sweetheart. She just wants to take over the show, guys. She just wants to take over the show. She just went for my headphones. You see that? Remy, do you have anything to say? Everything to say? Nope. She just wants to chill. She just wants to be seen. She says, I want to be human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. I don't know if I can do a whole show like this, Rems. I don't know if I can do a whole show like this. What do you say, guys? Should I make Remy a co-host? She's being a bit high maintenance. I just don't know if it'll work. Remy, I just don't know if it'll work. Remy, okay. Remy, sit. Calm. My goodness. Okay. Now, next on the stories. Eminem, guys. Eminem. Remy's 3.5 human years. Eminem purchases Bored Ape Yacht Club number 9055 for $452,000. Shady's profile holds 166 NFTs. My goodness. Marshall Mathers, known professionally as Eminem, joined the community of Bored Apes by purchasing a Bored Ape Yacht Club non-fungible token collectible for 123.5 Ethereum, which is at a value of $452,000 at the time of settlement. Slim Shady purchased this. So now, Who else is in there? We've got Jimmy Fallon. Who's Jimmy Fallon? We've got Slim Shady. We've got some other. All the celebrities are moving in right now, right? And it's very clear that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is quickly becoming pretty much a very gated community of millionaires and celebrities. Because what we're seeing more apes go for sale because of the original owners aren't necessarily millionaires. They just got in early, right? They're just on the short list of people that kind of had that foresight, right? And so they want to make those life-changing gains and call it a day. And I don't blame them. If you come from a working class background and then you can sell your Bored Ape for $500,000 to a celebrity, I'm doing it. I'll tell you right now, I'm doing it. So it's interesting. Consequentially, I kind of wondering though that once all the Bored Apes owners are going to be millionaires and celebrities, I think it's going to take a lot of the allure out of it personally. So I'm not sold that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is going to have this ever increasing floor. Right now it looks that way, and right now it is looking that way, but I don't think this is a foregone conclusion that the floor is just going to keep going up for Bored Ape Yacht Club. I do think that we're going to see in 2022 in particular, I think we're going to see some very clear rises of the next Bored Apes, so to speak. Right now, we've kind of had a few cues on where that's going, but it hasn't really been solidified. But I think 2022, we're going to get a much stronger picture on what that looks like, So, I don't know. Your dog rules make her own station. Should I make a station? Should I make a station for Remy? I wouldn't be opposed to it. She is being really naughty today. Remy. She's like just taking stuff she's not supposed to take and trying to get me to chase after her. I can't chase after you right now. Kevin O'Leary. It's on Bitcoin.com, reveals crypto strategy, why he prefers Ethereum, says NFTs will be, get this is Kevin O'Leary's words. He said this just yesterday. I can't believe this. Kevin O'Leary says NFTs will be bigger than Bitcoin. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank, shared his thoughts on cryptocurrency investment strategies and which ones he owns. He also discussed the crypto market bubbles, diversification, regulation, and why he thinks NFTs will be bigger than Bitcoin. Kevin O'Leary discusses his crypto investments, markets, and NFTs. And this was published on Forbes, by the way. He explained his views like this: the entire crypto industry as software development teams, adding that he is betting on really strong creative software engineers. While talking about his cryptocurrency holdings, he revealed Ethereum is my largest position, even bigger than Bitcoin. Kevin O'Leary says, a man after our own hearts. If we can just only get Kevin over into the dog money too, everything will be groovy. In fact, I could see that 2022 is the year that Kevin gets converted to the ways of the Doge. I could definitely see it. He's already much more bullish on Ethereum than Bitcoin, and heck, he's even more bullish on NFTs than Bitcoin. So he's there, and he also says that he owns Polygon, Solana, and Serum, and he says these are bets on software development teams, and there are many use cases for them. Moreover, Mr. Wonderful added that he holds a significant and material position in USDC, noting that he is starting to pay for assets and get paid in the stablecoin. And he expressed that he is very skeptical of meme coins long term. And I can understand that given the background that he has. I kind of have a moderate position on meme coins, not just Dogecoin, but meme coins in general. I do think that they're always going to have a place. I do think that they're always going to be a faction of the market. I don't think meme coins solely. Now, Dogecoin is the exception, right? Because Dogecoin isn't exclusively a meme coin. It is a meme coin, but it also has very high, strong utility. So it embraces both of those things, and it's one of the things that makes it so uniquely special. But as far as other meme coins. I think that's always going to be there, and I think we're going to see a rotating cast of which ones are popular. I don't think that's going anywhere. And frankly, I think it's healthy for the market to a degree. I do. I think it's healthy for the market. I wouldn't say that I'd want it to take over the market. I don't want that. I don't think that would be good. But I think that there's always going to be a very strong faction of the market that's going to be a part of. And I actually think that's a healthy thing. He was big on HBAR. What are your thoughts, Steven? Maxwell asks. I think HBAR is. Put it this way. I still think HBAR is a great long-term investment, but I think it's going to require a lot of patience to really get there. And I'm not sure. Kevin O'Leary didn't mention anything about HBAR in his portfolio this time around, so maybe he's changed that up. But yeah, I'm still bullish enough on HBAR. I currently don't own any. It's not because I don't like the project. It's because I just have limited. You got to pick your battles. I'm not a terribly wealthy man by any means. So you just got to pick your battles. There are many projects that I like. I'm just not invested in. And HBAR, I think, qualifies as one of those guys. Kevin O'Leary said the same thing about XRP in November. XRP is the subject of an SEC lawsuit against Ripple, and I do think that that XRP is going to pull through, and on that lawsuit and come victorious. Guys, just hang tight with me. I got to take this call. I will be right back. Yeah, till 3:30. Yeah, it's a little tricky if you haven't been there before. You just go to the corner of Stewart and Marina, and you'll see a Spectre Market sign. It actually kind of came off the building and out to the face. You'll see it there. So just look kind of eye level, and then go straight back when there's an open gate and look to the right, and you'll see a Spectre Market sign with a door on it, telling you where you want to go. And then just follow the signs to the side. You can have blue where you see the back. All right, you can do that. Bye. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. Kamaluki says booty call. I think those are typically later. It's in the afternoon here. Anyway, thank you for waiting, guys. What are your thoughts on on GG Allen coin? Kind of crappy. I see what you did there. I think that was a pun. Keith, I don't know if you're joking or not. I don't even know if that's a thing. I, of course, know who GG Allen is. I actually had a few opportunities to see him in concert when I was a very young man, and I declined after seeing some footage of his live shows. But yeah, so I don't know if you're being serious. I don't know if that's a thing or not. What are your thoughts on LCX token? Jim J. Morse, Remy. This dog, I got to tell you guys, Remy's never been so needy, ever, as she has been today. Well, I've been on the air. So yeah, sorry, I can't give my thoughts on LCX token. That's something I just have to take a little time to research. Remy. Slide Net's coming with a $2 super chat. Love it. Reminds me of the Bob Newhart show. This show, if you're referring to this show, I'll take it as a compliment because I love Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart, absolute comedic genius. So I appreciate that. Remy, come on up. Come on up. There we go. Sit. Calm down. Are you in heat? You want something to say? Got something to say to the folks? See, now she gets quiet. When I put the mic up to her, then she gets shy. Then she gets quiet. Comment to Luffy coming in with a $3 super chat. Appreciate it. LGB coin. You guys are throwing a lot of curveballs at me. I just gotta. I'm just gonna have to do a little Googling and a little searching. You know, there are well over. I think they're going on almost 20,000 cryptocurrencies in the market as of now. It's just very hard to keep track. Remy, calm. Okay, calm. All right. So, yeah, that was very interesting information to come out about Kevin O'Leary's portfolio. And I think this is a magnificent sign. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, in my opinion, he is my favorite part about the Shark Tank. People love him or hate him. I love how just cutthroat and brutal he is, and just no BS. I love his style. I love his style. I think I have a lot of respect for Kevin O'Leary and the way he does business and the way he carries himself. And it really says something because he is a numbers guy, right? He is a numbers guy, and he just gets right down to it. So when he's saying that he feels that Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin, okay, stronger than Bitcoin, that really says something. That really says something. So, Remy, sit, calm, okay? Calm down. I've just, sorry guys, I've never seen her act like this while I've been live. Remy, let's just relax. I mean, she's really, stop it. You guys, I can't believe what's happening. I've never seen her freak out like this while I've been live, ever. Remy, stop it. I don't understand because I literally just took her out. Maybe she's got to go potty again. It's just crazy, you guys. It's just crazy. Remy, sit. Lie down. Stay. This is becoming the Remy show. Okay, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next story, guys. Cointelegraph reporting Bitcoin sees nonstop end-of-year buying as 10K Bitcoin leaves Coinbase in a single day. Coinbase users appear hungry for coins as a trading firm forecasts a major flippening in Bitcoin ownership coming in January. This is an incredibly bullish sign, folks. So listen up. Almost $10K in Bitcoin left major United States based exchange Bitcoin in December 30th, in a sign that investor appetite is returning to the sphere. Data from on-chain monitoring resource CoinGlass shows Coinbase's professional trading arm, Coinbase Pro, shedding 10,000 BTC in a 24-hour period on New Year's Eve. So this is an incredibly bullish sign. In fact, this I think speaks volumes on where Bitcoin is likely heading into the new year, into the first quarter of which we find ourselves right now. I don't put off the table that we could very well see a Bitcoin all-time high within the next 4 to 6 weeks. I really think things could go gangbusters. I really do. I think that's on the table, and I think what we're seeing here, what I've just read there, is a sign for that. Now, next story here. 21 predictions for crypto and beyond in 2022. This is an opinion piece by CoinDesk. We're going to blaze through all these points, and I think they raise some really, really good predictions here, and then other ones I disagree with. So, and I want you guys to express and let me know how you feel about CoinDesk's 2022 predictions for cryptocurrency. Your dog rules. Just let her take the show. Maybe I should, guys. Maybe I should. Oh, maybe Remy is trying to tell us she found a kid who fell down the well or something. Yeah, maybe it's like, it's like one of those crappy after-school special movies. What is it, Remy? What are you trying to tell me? Little Timmy stuck where? In the well? He can't get out. Let's go. Anita says, personally, I'm super bullish on Atom and Luna for 2022. I see Bitcoin consolidating for a while this year. Fairly probable, Anita. I think that's, I'm not sure if I agree that Bitcoin is going to consolidate for most of the year, but I do agree that Atom and Luna are more than likely going to be incredibly bullish going on into 2022 and beyond. Particularly Luna, AVAX, and Solana, but I think particularly Luna and AVAX are going to keep ascending throughout this new year. Rachel Slur, what's going on here? You must be new here. You must be new here. This isn't the typical cryptocurrency channel show, is it? Okay, let's get to the 21 point predictions from CoinDesk for cryptocurrency. They are predicting that the overall token market flattens. Expect at least a period of unstable and essentially flat token markets. I'm increasingly convinced that we won't see a 2018 style of massive drawdown, but 2021 was such a year that a reversion to the mean is likely in strictly mathematical terms. I do think there's a good possibility Bitcoin sets a new all-time high above 69,000 by the end of the year. I agree with that assessment. What did I tell you? What did I tell you that my end-of-year prediction for Bitcoin is? I actually put it closer to 80,000, and they say that it will easily set an all-time high above 69, and I would concur with that. Though I wouldn't bet on that being stable until 2023. So basically, they're saying there's going to be a thinning out of token projects. I guess it depends what kind of token projects. I think there's going to be a huge thinning out of the SHIT coins or the red light district projects, as I often have referred to them in the past. I think there's going to be a massive. And right now we're seeing it, frankly, even as things just trade sideways and unremarkably for the last 6 weeks or so. We've seen a lot of these projects go belly up and fizzle out and disappear or barely hanging on. I think the further we go throughout 2022, I think the more and more that's going to happen. I think that's a good thing because right now I think that we are oversaturated with projects like that. Definitely overly saturated. So I think that's a good thing. Now, this is classic CoinDesk. Now, keep in mind, CoinDesk is ran by essentially what you would describe as Bitcoin maxis. Even Barry Silbert's kind of mixed up with these guys. And they are predicting that Elon Musk will continue misleading and confusing people new to crypto. Disagree. Hard disagree on that one. And I don't think Elon has misled anyone. Elon has brought more people into the crypto space, if anything else. This kind of sentiment and predominantly the people that are Elon Musk haters are people that are more bullish on Bitcoin, usually more than anything else. And they view Bitcoin as kind of like the way, the truth, and the life. There can be only one Highlander style. So, obviously, as you guys know, I don't see things that way, and I don't think many of you either, so big disagree on that one. CoinDesk also predicting in 2021 that NFTs will keep tanking. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and I've actually have warned against this. Now, let me put a little nuance in this opinion just so I can make myself clear. I do think NFTs are here to stay. I do think there's lots of money still to be made, but again, I think NFTs are kind of oversaturated in some regards, and right now the bar is being raised every day for what makes a successful project, what is considered a more successful project, and so I think the NFT market is still finding itself, and it's going to continue to find itself throughout 2022. And I think there's still going to be a lot of money to be made in 2022, but I'm not convinced it's going to be the same kind of money that we saw transpire in 2021. I'm not sure if we'll see that again. We could. I'm just not sure on it. And the reason why I say that is because most people talk about it like it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to be that way. I'm not sold on that. But don't get it twisted. I love NFTs. I think the market's here to stay. I think the projects that have existed that maybe aren't doing so well right now, the ones that are going to survive, the ones that have a strong, committed, passionate community, some active development going on there. And yeah, so I don't know if I have anything more to add to that one. They are also predicting that Ethereum 2.0 will finally arrive. I agree. I think that was probably going to arrive even sooner than many people are expecting. The reason why a lot of people don't expect much out of the arrival time on Ethereum 2.0 is because it's kind of like Lucy in the football with Charlie Brown. This is something we've all heard many, many times before, that Ethereum 2.0 is coming, then it never comes. But I do think, and everything that I've been hearing behind the scenes, and I've been probing some developers behind the scenes that are connected with connected directly with the Ethereum developers. I do think that Ethereum 2.0 is going to happen by the end of this quarter of the new year here. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm pro Doge, but the best crypto right now is Evergrow. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've heard of Evergrow. I'm not personally invested in it, but I know the people that are into it they're really into it. What can I say? Elon is our reptilian alien master. Reptilians. Yeah, you can really go down that rabbit hole of people that are that believe in reptilians, right? Layer 1 diversity is real. Is another prediction for 2022. In the NFT sector, for instance, we've seen a series of uptake, not in just Solana, but Tezos and other blockchains. And I have to say, Tezos is probably more than likely, if I had to guess, going to be the next Solana in terms of those tasty gains. We've already been seeing a lot of things that are pointing to this, folks. So maybe getting a bag of Tezos right now might not be a bad idea before the alternatives in the NFT market really break loose. And I think that's something we're going to see in 2022 as well, is the alternative the NFTs that are running on alternative blockchains outside of Ethereum are going to continue to ascend in prominence, particularly Solana, particularly AVAX and Tezos as well. Bitcoin mining's big sort. So yeah, we are seeing, of course, we've talked many times about this, since the crypto mining ban, the Bitcoin mining ban that has swept throughout China, we are seeing a lot of it relocate to here in the good old USA, particularly Texas. Texas is quickly becoming the crypto mining capital of the world. And I think the United States is going to continue to completely solidify its place as the crypto mining capital of the globe. We've seen mayors throughout America take decisive, big, bold actions on becoming a very Bitcoin-friendly city, a very cryptocurrency-friendly city. We're seeing it with the new mayor of New York. We're seeing it with the mayor of Miami and beyond. And I think that's going to continue to solidify itself. They're also predicting that stocks are going to keep going up, but more slowly. I don't have everything to add to that. I think that's likely correct. They're predicting the Fed is going to get tight and raise interest rates in 2022 and crack down on some more regulation on the crypto market. I think that's correct. Something you guys all need to keep in mind. Bitcoin's inflation narrative is tested. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Meme coins wipe out. I think we've already talked about this. I guess what are they defining as a meme coin? I think the SHIT coins are not necessarily always synonymous with meme coins, but I kind of disagree with this one. I don't think they're all just going away. Slide Edge coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Slide Edge. Any thoughts on crypto mining companies this year? Well, I'm not sure what you're asking in terms of what, Slide Edge. What I can tell you is that there have been big, bold, decisive action to make crypto mining much more energy efficient, much more green, frankly, and much quicker than any of the critics of cryptocurrency, of Bitcoin, had anticipated. So I think that's great. I think that's a great step. I do think that the mining equipment, from everything I've been seeing, are making huge strides also in efficiency and how much electricity they use compared to the output that they're able to handle. So I think the advancements coming forward in that regard are going to be very significant into the new year. Rough waters for old hands. The ascendance of they predict the ascendance of Avalanche, Terra, Solana, Polkadot this year spells the end of real momentum for many projects that have been around a while. They promised big things for years and underperformed both technologically. And the partial list of projects that they would put in this category are Litecoin, IOTA, Cardano, EOS, Hedera, based on lack of developer interest or technological mismatches with the direction of the ecosystem is going. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't have a lot of hope for Litecoin going into the new year, or IOTA, or EOS, or Hedera. The only one I'd probably disagree with is ADA Cardano. I wouldn't count ADA out. I really wouldn't. I think ADA is still poised to do some big gains this year potentially. U.S. inflation will peak. I think that's quite likely given what we've seen with the current administration and the trajectory there. And as I explained before, though, I don't necessarily think that rising inflation in the United States is going to synonymously have a negative impact the whole time on cryptocurrency. I think that's going to happen for a period of time, and then people readjust. Psychologically to those new inflation rates, and I think it even can push more people into cryptocurrency to make up for what's going on with that inflation, for some more to make a more proactive approach on seeking out gains. And stablecoins to get regulated, probably true. More nations adopt Bitcoin, absolutely true. Turkey descending into chaos, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I don't know the geopolitical hemisphere in Turkey enough to comment on that. And the pandemic, quote unquote, ends. Hopefully, hopefully, I hope so. And this is funny. The last 2022 prediction from CoinDesk is this: Facebook's metaverse eats absolute SHIT. That is what it says. Early quarter reports on virtual reality sales and usage are either bad or heavily massaged. Then the company redefines what it means by metaverse in the same way it kept retreating on Libra. Hundreds of millions of dollars are wasted. In retrospect, everyone agrees that the idea of a social network you have to put on goggles to use was extremely stupid all along. Guys, I have you not heard me say this in the past? Have you not heard Nick Ball say this in the past? I don't think that Mark Zuckerberg's version of the metaverse, which he has called Meta, which he has rebranded, of course, Facebook as Meta, I don't think this is a foregone conclusion of success. I think there's a decent probability that it flops. It flops. When you look at the demographics of who predominantly uses Facebook on a regular basis now, it's pretty much Gen X and older. It's pretty much Gen X and boomers. And your relatives, your auntie, your grandparents, your parents, to keep tabs on family, maybe to join their little community groups on there and stuff like that. Use it to post pictures of family events, things like this. For the most part, Facebook has strongly evolved into that. Don't get me wrong, Facebook is still wildly popular, but it's other platforms and others, all the analytics and the data shows that for people younger than Gen X, they prefer other platforms. Now, the idea that Mark Zuckerberg converting Facebook into Meta, the metaverse, is going to suddenly redraw back all those younger people, don't get me wrong, I'm still very bullish about the long-term integration of the metaverse, and I think it's something that's going to continuously develop and become a greater part of our lives. But I don't see wide swaths of people eager to put an Oculus on their faces for hours and hours a day. We have our phones. I think that's good enough. I don't think most people want to get more involved with this at this time. Now, I will say this with this caveat. I think the stronger the graphics, the stronger the programming gets as it relates to the metaverse, the more and more realistic the experience becomes. I think then people will be much more motivated at that time to spend those hours and hours with the headsets on. But we're just not there yet, and we're not going to be there yet for a bit. That's just my opinion on it. Let's see here. Next story. This is kind of a funny story. This is from Babylon Bee. Ted Cruz says all his haters are now just unable to resist his raw sex appeal. This, of course, is a parody of the story that I covered last time I was on the air with Congresswoman AOC, and she recently kind of got busted vacationing in Florida. She, of course, is a representative out of New York, so many people saw this as, or people that already don't really care for her saw this as a blatant sign of hypocrisy under her own policy and preferences in relation to the pandemics, etc. And some pictures got out about that. And her retort to her critics was that it was just all like Republicans and conservatives that are frustrated that they can't date her. That's why they're lashing out, which was like, I mean, okay. So this is kind of Babylon B's answer to that. Ted Cruz says all his haters just unable to. And it has like a fake tweet from Ted Cruz in the article that says, it's starting to get old ignoring the very obvious, strange, and deranged sexual frustrations that underpin the Democratic fixation on me and other sexy Cuban Americans. So creepy. It would be hilarious if he actually did tweet that out. He probably should. His tweet thread went on to claim that any criticisms of him was just from people who have a thing for husky, sexy Cuban Americans with manly beards, the intense gaze of an antelope, and the raw strength of a Texas stallion. Those who hate him, Cruz claimed, are just hypnotized by his speaking voice, the rich baritone drawn to him, an alpha male whose powerful presence and distinct scent of dusty Texas sunrise in September cause his haters to lash out in unfulfilled desire. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Pretty good. And another fun story that I came across through hardtimes.net. Password hint only making things worse. How many of us can relate to this? Insurance. Oh my God. Remy. She sees another dog. Are you done? She's not done. I gotta tell you, Remy's really been. She's really making herself known today, more than ever before. Insurance claim adjuster Jason Parkinson's became frustrated this morning over the unhelpful password recovery hint that he created, which only made retrieving it worse. Sympathetic sources verified. I was trying to log into my bank account the other day. Parkinson said, I had forgotten the password, which came up maybe 14 hours ago, so I ended up asking for a hint, and all I set for the hint was, you know this, what the F? Ever since then, I've been trying to connect the dots between the statement and whatever it was that I made for an 8-letter, 1 symbol, 1 capital key. Man, I empathize with this so much. Like, how many passwords do we have in our lives now? It's just never ending. It's just never ending. She is a good watchdog. Corey says, I love my Oculus. Yeah, I don't have one. Eventually I probably will get one. And I have to say though, the people that are owners of the Oculuses seem to like them quite a lot. Elijah says, I see Facebook will be like what happened to IBM in the late 70s, early 80s. The next thing will come like Microsoft did. Elijah, I'd say that's a pretty fair probability. I think that sounds like a pretty reasonable prediction there. Remy is on fire today, guys. Zill, Sandbox, what's your opinion? I don't have a strong opinion on Zill. Sandbox, I think Sandbox is continuing to be bullish, but I do think at this stage, in order to make significant, tasty gains in Sandbox, you're going to have to hold for a long time. Because we saw Sandbox really ascend so epically, particularly over the last 6 months, that I think it's going to be a while before you see huge gains on Sandbox. Now, I do consider Sandbox personally to be a great long-term hold, so I'll leave it at there. And like I've been emphasizing more and more lately, my overall investment strategy, particularly when it comes to top 20, top 25 cryptos, you usually want to go for more super long-term holds. wherein when you're trading on projects with much lower market caps, you don't necessarily want to hold on to those so long. You want to take profits and move on. You want to take profits and move on. Remy, stop it. She's like, Remy, stop it. I think she's trying to hump a pillow. What has gotten into her today? My goodness. Maybe my dog is in heat. But that's my overall strategy there, guys. That's my overall strategy. Don't be afraid to take profits. Now, when you do take profits on those smaller market cap projects, or even if you pull out those projects entirely, there will be times where you're going to miss opportunities where you could have made more money. Well, hindsight's always 20/20, and none of us are fortune tellers. And my opinion is on the smaller market cap projects overall. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, right? There are exceptions to the rule. If you have a good, strong feeling and good reasons to have a long-term hold on a small market cap project, by all means, go with it. Go with it. But I'm just saying overall, I'd say that's more the exception on low market cap projects. Now, the difference is, yeah, you will inevitably lose out on more gains. You will pull out your money on some of these lower market cap projects, and you'll continue to see them ascend in value. But the difference is, more times than not, if you don't pull profits on these smaller, high risk, high reward projects, you're going to get caught holding the bag more times than not. Understand? Crow, I think, is great. I think Crow's got a super strong future. I think the branding is so there. I think there's probably still great gains to be made just in this year going into 2022. Very, very bullish on Crow. Very bullish on Crow. Folks, I'm kind of at the bottom of my news cycle here. Attendance is kind of low today. I think I've never really gone on a Sunday afternoon before, so I think that's probably part of it. Vampire Kangaroo, what's going on? Sidharth, what's going on? Is asking about M&M. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. So M&M is now an owner of a board. He's now a member of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. He bought a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT for about $450,000 in Ethereum just yesterday. And there's also speculation that perhaps Britney Spears also bought a Bored Ape this last week as well. I think maybe even just yesterday as well. But they're still looking to confirm that, but it's looking like that's probably the case. So, yeah. Let's take a look at what the charts are doing a little bit here, guys. So we've seen a modest dip in Bitcoin, just a bit under 46,000 or 47,000. Let's do a market rounder with some other ones as well. And let's just see how things are humming along here today on this lazy Sunday. Ethereum coming in at 3,800, trading sideways. Nothing terribly remarkable, but they are up almost 2% over the last 24 hours. Obviously a good sign. Then as we move into Lunaterra down I would call it within the realms of a healthy retracement, down just a little over a percentage over the last 24 hours, down about a 0.5% over the last hour, and down 10% over the last 7 days, which is pretty typical for where the rest of the market have been doing over the last week. AVAX down about 4% for the week, up about a 0.5% for the day, and down about 0.5% for the last hour. A few others as well. Solana right now is down about a 0.5%, down about a percentage point for the day, down 12% for the week. XRP is down 7% for the week, trading sideways for the day, trading sideways for the hour. So, yeah, if you're worried about whatever your most bullish positions are, you can look at what the rest of the market is doing, and it coordinates with that almost every time. So don't panic. It's usually what's going on through the whole market. Vampire Kangaroo finally got a super chat in here. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Happy New Year, Steven. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your continued support, Vampire Kangaroo. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yep. What was I going to say? I had something else in my mind that I wanted to dovetail off that last point. Oh, another important thing, a bit of it, I wouldn't call it advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Another thing you might want to keep in mind, guys, is when Bitcoin starts going down or starts going up, the highest market cap coins underneath Bitcoin are the first ones to be affected. And then the last ones to be affected are the lowest market cap projects. So let's say that you're invested in lower market cap projects and you see Bitcoin start to take a dive. Well, you got a little time, right? You got a little time. You probably got about 4 or 5 hours before it affects those really low market cap projects. So it gives you a little breathing room to pull profits, pull out as you see fit, as you see Bitcoin going down. It's eventually going to hit it, right? Bitcoin's like the tidal wave. We're living in a Bitcoin dominated market. So it pretty much dictates the whole market overall with a very few exceptions. So that's another important thing you guys might want to keep in mind. Anyway, I'm going to wind this one down, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. I hope you guys all have a great day and a great rest of your weekend. Appreciate the support. If you're not already subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. Hit on that notification bell. Stay dialed in so you know the next time I go live. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. This is your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, and Remy. Of course, she goes quiet right at the end. Until next time, guys. Over and out.